there's this interesting thing Hamosi, who's this like online business entrepreneur, said, which is make money in the distillation, not the creation. And essentially, what this means is, well, I just got ChatGPT to define it for me, is that profit or like money is found in simplifying and just refining existing concepts as opposed to making something new. And it's definitely quite interesting because if you take a look at like the online influencer space, it's a lot of people selling like, courses and stuff. And there was like a meme where the equivalent of girls having OnlyFans is the same as a guy having an online course, which is, debatable. But again, it kind of shows how prevalent it is. Like just, people making online courses, distilling down information and then putting like a price tag on that, whether that's, sometimes that's in the thousands. And so essentially what they're doing with the online course or any like online program that you see is they're not like making something new. They're just taking the existing information and distilling it down into a couple of videos into a course, like whatever that may be. Like if it's for like editing videos or learning how to like play guitar, things like that. So when Hamosi says make money in the distillation, not the creation, I definitely have like a few thoughts on this because I used to make like online like study videos and get people to like, buy like my course. I've been through that phase. And so it definitely works. I mean, that's why people do it. And people might say like, that's not really real work. Like you're not, teaching people anything new. But the thing I will say to that is like with universities, it's the exact same thing, and with school as well. Like the reason people go to university, yeah, sure, you get the degree, but everything they synthesize all the information for you into a curriculum, as opposed to just just Google, because you can find the exact same information that they teach you in university online on Google or ChatGPT. But the reason people go, sure, it's for the certificate, but it's also for the structure. And that's why people also buy online courses. It's because it gives a structure when there's so much information out there. And so essentially what you're paying for is the convenience. And that's the thing I've realized with most online courses, which is why like I rarely buy a lot of courses unless they're from very like specific individuals where I know I'll get something else apart from the information, like whether that's like access or like mentorship with the person. Then obviously that's different. That's not just the online course, but yeah, it's a very interesting quote. Make money in the distillation, not the creation. I would definitely say it's the more accessible thing. Like when it comes to me, like obviously, like I've never like had like big dreams of being like the most like wealthiest person in the world, but I do want to find a way where I can make like a stable income through like online means or through a way that's like of high leverage that is just because that just gives me the freedom to spend time with like my friends, my family, my partner, and just do things that I'm interested in. So yeah, like things like taking care of my physical health, buying like the best like foods, things like that. And that's essentially like the reason why I was like so invested in this process. But I realized like at this stage, yes, distillation is the most like accessible way of like making money online. But when it comes to creation, it's like a truly beautiful thing. Like if you can genuinely make something new, then I mean, sure, like you obviously if you invent something, you're obviously going to be set for life. But like just like the joy of like doing that and coming up with something that has never been come up before, like I would find that to be like incredible, honestly. Obviously it's easier said than done. Like it's not that easy just to make something new. But I mean, it's definitely like a life goal of mine to eventually like leave behind a legacy where like something new has been created as opposed to just tossing around like old ideas, which I mean are still valuable, which is why they're still being tossed around, and they're still being shared. And I mean that in a completely good way. And I guess that's just the like it's kind of like the debate between like quality and quantity as well. Because sure, quality like quantity is important at the start, but then quality is important later on. With this, it's kind of like the same thing. Like for me, like focusing on distillation was a very accessible way to kind of generate like a not a huge like income by any means, but just basically just create some online like passive income. But when it comes to creation, that's just a whole new level that, yeah, I'll definitely want to look into the future. So that's kind of like my thoughts on what Hamosi has said here.